Okay, off you go.
Xin chào, xin chào Keith from, oh, what's the, forgot.
Keith the Traveller.
Keith Traveller.
Keith the Traveller.
Keith Traveller, right?
Yeah, Keith the Traveller.
Keith.
Yeah, okay. Right, here we go. Let's go
Okay.
again. Go again. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, chào mừng Keith Traveller đến Việt Nam and Hoi An. Vâng.
Yeah, SE6.
Oh, right. Right. Good. Rolling. Right, okay. So the train from Ho Chi Minh or Saigon up to Hanoi takes about 2 days. We're on the SE6 that departed at 08:45 AM on the way to Nha Trang. At the moment we are in the first class 4-berth sleeper, which is air conditioned. I'm 5'11", and as you can see I can sort of just about kind of lay down in itself. When you first get on the train, some fellow will walk along and you can pay for your dinner up front, which is 35,000 dong. Tea, coffee, they're 20,000 dong as well. Otherwise, just lay back, enjoy the view, take it easy and enjoy. So just a short couple of kilometres outside of Nha Trang centre itself is this place here, Tang Po, I believe it's called. Anyway, it's literally just a couple of kilometres out of Nha Trang itself. The beach is quite small. It's generally popular with Russian and Chinese tourists. In the background over here is an island called Hong Chong. For some reason I went to go there and it was literally packed full of Chinese tourists, as if a whole province itself has come up. The beach is nice and golden. It's actually pretty quiet, it's mid-November, but in the background is an absolute ton of monstrosity, huge buildings, which kind of shows the development that Vietnam and this stretch is going itself, as it seems to be very, very popular with Russians and Chinese tourists. Myself, been here for 4 days, been very pleasant, chilling out on the beach, and you're kind of left alone because you're English and there's not too many of us here. So everywhere you go in Hoi An Old Town is basically signs that say fresh beer, from 4,000 to 10,000, which is super, super cheap. Now, of course, I was drawn in by the words fresh beer and, of course, the cheapness. However, when you taste it, it tastes like dirty dishwater, maybe vinegary, dirty dishwater. So, on my advice, just stick to a bottle of Saigon to get the fresh beer. So if you're looking for some cheap top eats when you come to Hoi An, I'd recommend this kind of street where we are now. So if you come into the old town and cross over the bridge, and as you look at it, turn left, just keep going, the street turns around to the left. Behind me is literally lots of little old ladies that are selling all their food stalls. They go on like this. And you can literally pick up loads of local treats. So you can get khao lao, you can get fried vegetables, all for 30,000 dong, very reasonable. If you want more, then you can get it. It's cheap to buy a beer as well, like 15,000 dong for a bottle of Saigon. So if you want cheap local eats, definitely come and check out Mrs. Hay, the Haymaker. So behind me is the village of Cha Quay, which is just a short ride out of Hoi An Old Town. Or I believe it's pronounced Cha Quay, but here is Hyung from my home Hoi An Cooking on the island to explain the name. The pronunciation, as you know, is absolutely terrible. So to pronounce the local garden is expert here. Hung, please pronounce it.
Yeah, Cha Quay.
Cha Quay. There you have it, Cha Quay. The island itself is about a 15-20 minute cycle ride out of Hoi An Old Town. Hoi An Old Town itself isn't really for me in the daytime. The little streets are absolutely rammed full of Chinese and Korean tourists being driven around in their rickshaws, which quite frankly really got on my nerves. In the evening, the city or the old town really comes alive with lanterns that you can see all over the place. Lots of little local stalls coming out. There's plenty of places to go and eat and grab some beer. Personally, I bathe myself on this island. A lot of people come to this island and do a cooking course, which is what I did with Hung in the video earlier on. And there's a separate series on that which you can see how to make spring rolls, fish in a clay pot with a sweet sauce. So please definitely check them out. Some interesting facts about the island though that some people don't know is that this island actually has about 200 families on it, and 40 of which are still involved in the farming industry today. These 40 families have only really been here, or this part behind me has only really been here since 1996. As before, the houses were dotted everywhere and all of the houses had their own garden and they all grown their own veg. But the government wanted to make it better for tourism. So in 1996, they offered to compensate the locals, create this area behind me, build them houses around the area so they could make these beautiful pathways that people now cycle across. So the whole thing has actually been custom made for tourism and is actually really a recent development. Interestingly enough, here the land is super fertile itself, and some of the crops literally only take between 1 month and 2 months to grow. So a lettuce will only take about 20 days. That's because it's got great irrigation. They use different types of sort of ways of keeping the soil fresh. They use buffalo dung, they use seaweed, and they use peanut sauce, or the remnants of this peanut sauce to go on here. Although what they are saying is that these lands are now changing because of the tourism. Young people are now flocking out to the old town to try and work in tourism, and so now it's really the old people that are left to farm the land behind me. If you are in this part of the world in Hoi An and you're looking to escape the absolute craziness and the carnage and the busyness, and of course about the million tailors there are in Hoi An, then I definitely recommend coming and stay out in this village. There's some beautiful little pathways and walkways to see. Just relax, chill out with some great restaurants.